And look, we love talking about the Combine here. I know DJ and Bucky talking about it on their podcasts all the time, and what the Combine means to them and what they get out of the Combine the most. And I know DJ says a lot of times it helps him break ties on guys that he has similar grades with. What do you take out of the Combine most when you leave here?
Look, I really do like the Combine.
Yeah.
I mean, contrary, some people think, you don't see them with pads on, what are they doing? But look, we've watched a lot of video up to this point, a lot. So to have an opportunity to juxtapose the players, mano a mano, meaning more the athleticism versus the athleticism. The movement for me is really big here. Of course, not only are we getting the medical element and the interview element, but purely on the field for me, I like watching it. I look back to when we drafted Julio Jones and we moved up as we did. And I remember looking at Julio's drills, and they were a big factor. They weren't the end-all, be-all, of course, but watching some of the footwork, the explosiveness, how he came in and out compared to some of the best ones over the years, it was an important thing for my assessment of what Julio was. So,
hey, Thomas, we've talked at length about the intangible qualities that we look for in great players. The Combine gives you an opportunity to interview guys and find those. What are some of the core traits that you're looking for in guys that aren't taking place in the drills?
Well, I mean, look, you don't want to hear this because it sounds too cliche, the whole grit idea, the whole fire, passion. That's Dan Quinn all the way. There is no way in the world that we can bring in dullards into our program, right? Call it the way it is. So, I mean, we're really honed in on trying to figure out what their personality is. Not only on the field as they're doing drills, they don't need to be leading the group necessarily. They need to be hopping up and taking care of business. But when they're interviewing with us, when they're interacting, we have people all over the building looking and watching these guys as they're interacting with their other buddies in the drill line or interacting with other teams. Like, that's a big thing for us because these people are going to be in our building, and it's going to be really important for them to be a part of, the mindset of what the Falcons are going to be. And if we miss on that, those are the ones that I think we miss on. Not always. You don't have to have someone like bopping off the walls. I get that. But you do need someone that's going to be in, and they're not going to be back on their chair thinking, I'm not in here because this isn't my mentality. I'm a chill, even keel guy. We need to differentiate between that and the people that are going to fit into Dan Quinn's system.
So when I read stuff about the Falcons following the regular season and when I listen to what you and Dan Quinn have said since that time, the words I keep hearing are nasty and urgent. What does that mean to you guys? How do you evaluate that here?
The nasty thing I think Coach Quinn's used, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to put that aside for a second.
Okay, sure.
No, only because nasty, it depends on how we define nasty.
Sure.
Let me talk urgent for a minute. I mean, urgent, and I really believe in this, and you and I have talked about urgent, what I like to phrase more as urgent athleticism, right? Yeah. You see an athlete that's starts, explosive, drives, jumps up for balls. Like, everything about them is urgent. Those are the guys that I think are a very important part of our style of athleticism / urgency. So that's really important. The lollygagger, that person's not going to fit in with, again, back to Dan's scheme. They won't. They could be really good football players, but they have to be in line with the level of urgency that we're looking for. As far as the nasty, nasty has much more to do with, look, from whistle to whistle, the drive, the competitive toughness that we're talking about. Sure. We've talked about that a lot. CT grade for us, competitive toughness is huge. So I would like to say more of CT is where we're really focused on as well. They have to be competitive from play to play, second to second, and they have to have an element of toughness, grittiness that I talked about from the beginning.
Yeah.
Hey, Thomas, you're uniquely qualified to answer this because you've had to build your team around the quarterback when you've paid the quarterback twice. Yeah. What is the challenge of building a team around a big-time quarterback that is making a lot of money and occupying a lot of the salary cap space?
I didn't think it was going to be as difficult as it is, of course. I think we do a really good job. Our finance, how we approach our players, we make sure as much as possible to pay the people that we believe are, the pillars of our organization. I've said that all along. That could be in certain seasons, it could be 5, it could be 8 in another season. When we start talking about Matt Ryan at $30 million and you talk about Julio Jones where he is and you talk about Alex Mack and the players that we're paying, it's really important. As we're paying those guys, of course, that becomes a really you have to become really creative with how you put that sort of that middle line together, because those players are so valuable to our winning, and yet you can spread the money, but you can only spread so much money especially when you have 5, 8, or 9 players that are making a lot of money. So you have to be creative with it. What I'm saying in the very end is Dan and I have myriad conversations about how we're going to put it all together. what happens there, of course, is there are casualties, unfortunately, right? And players that maybe the media or the fan base look and think, well, why would they ever get rid of that player? And, part of my job, of course, is to project. Mm-hmm. And, we've had to make some really tough decisions so far this season, and we'll continue to make some. We feel confident that we're going to go, our focus right now, of course, is Grady Jarrett. Yeah. Hopefully get that done sooner than later.
Is there a franchise tag there if you need it for Grady?
Hopefully we get that done sooner than later. The reality is that Grady is going to be here, and that's we think he's obviously a very important part to our organization, and we'll figure out one way or another about how to have him here. And again, he's important to Dan. He's important to the organization, both on and off the field.